I'm going to be doing some readings for you all, whoever chooses to join me today. It's mid-November. Somehow it's gotten this far. Looking forward to Thanksgiving next week. It feels like it's been a long year. It's sort of just, I don't know, just noticing it now. Perhaps because of the Mars energy of the last few days, the lunar eclipse last week or the weekend, whenever it was. I'm noticing that with people, with myself, and just immediate community, what the energies of right now seems to be bringing up is challenging and shaking one's identity, where one finds one's identity, where one finds one's safety, and that's all getting shaken up at the moment. And for the longer term, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing because we over-attach these things, we over-identify with these things, and the problem with that is we tend to look to outside, we tend to look to other people to understand ourselves a lot too much. So when that starts to get shaken like it is right now, the only place there is to go is inside. And the irony being that was the only place to have gone in the first place, and really up to a point whatever gets us there. That's what I'm noticing about the energies of right now. This will pass because the lessons will pass, but we humans, we're funny creatures because we don't pay attention until something is important enough, until something is inconvenient enough, and that's what we've got. So to quote something which I think I seem to say every time I do this is some guidance from Saint Germain, which we got the end of last year, actually or just before the solstice, I think it was. And he said to us, you want to have a happy time in 2022. He said, treat everything like a gift. And that is there are definitely two sides to that piece of advice. Treat everything like a gift. The things you like, the things you don't like, treat it like a gift, because then you can own it. It's been given to you, for you. You can receive it and you can do something with it. We're going around saying this is being done to us. So, well, there's nothing there. Nothing there. Anywho. Doing some readings for you this evening. I will be pulling cards for the next few minutes. Yes, I will take general questions. After that, I'm asking for specific questions. So I want to just get through to as many people as I can. Then, so all you do, you drop your questions in the comments box there, and I'll just go through one at a time. Do not be rude to me, please. I'm getting a little tired of that. This is not a venue for you just to be rude to someone because they're going live on Facebook. This is something I do to as best I can to get questions or free your mind from questions so that you can view your own life and walk through your own life with a bit more grace and ease. That's why. Okay. If you don't want to be on here, don't be on here. All right. So with that in mind, Will Andrea. Okay, there we go. Bob, will Andrea offer a building for me to clean? God, this is interesting. I'm leaning towards no, Bob, but there's more. I wish it were a yes or no, but it's not. There's more to it than this. There's more to it than this. Um, um, you've asked the question to get a yes or no, but I'm just saying there's more to it. There's other intentions and agendas wrapped up in this, and things not being said to you, and so on. And so, when I come across a situation like this in daily life, as opposed to when I'm reading in daily life, I like to bring conversations. What's the word I'm looking for? Dynamics. Communicate. I like to just bring it to a head, because I'm sensitive. I'm intuitive. You're sensitive. You're intuitive. You know when someone's holding something back from you, and I just can't be bothered with that sometimes. So I tend to be direct about things. I'm leaning towards a no to your question, but there's more in this, and I am suggesting you explore that. Right? We don't need a whole conversation about it, Bob, but there is a bit more to say. But I think you need to clean something up there. I don't mean physically. I mean in terms of communication. All right. And Jeanette. Look at reading. Yeah. Okay, I feel like you should be doing more right now, Jeanette. And let me just be a voice to convey to you what you're doing is how much you're doing, what you're doing. It's fine. You might be finding right now that you know what you're trying to do, and you're trying to get things in motion and get things done and so on, and nothing's quite happening. And then come the judgments and all of that. But you are doing exactly as much as you should be. Please remember that energy is first, and then things and actions and so on. There we go. Sorry, let me put my phone on silent. Don't usually get calls. All right, where was I? So there is a great difference, Anjanette, distinction between going with the flow versus being lazy and complacent. I'm not going to say you're quite with the flow, because you're kind of resisting a little bit, but you're more with the flow than you think you are. Can I offer to you for right now that you have some appreciation for yourself, what you've done? Again, this is where the year is drawing to a close, right? Not at an end, but drawing to a close. I think you need to be a little reflective, especially before Thanksgiving, about what you've achieved, how much support you've had that you haven't seen. The invisible support around us. That I think will get you feeling a bit more balanced. Now is not the right time to be doing lots of things. I'm getting a longer term sense. If you want to put your mind to something, think about the time between about now and June. Let's just say the summer solstice. Yes, the summer solstice, between now and then. That is quite a long time away, but you're planting seeds that are gonna be birthing and blooming around then. So yeah, I think that will do for now. Good evening, Randy. Okay, I just saw you have a question. I'll get to that in a moment. Mary, there's a lot of ghosts, people initially come into your life, and others as well. What is the purpose of these people and things coming back up? Yeah. I don't want to just give you a vanilla answer, Mary. I'd like to get a bit more specifics in regard to you. Yeah. Okay, so the thing that you will know backwards, forwards, and sideways, Mary, is that when old things resurface, older people you've known in your past or situations, they're there to be cleansed, dealt with, healed to a greater degree, either a greater degree and or because they weren't attended to earlier on, right? You know that. Let's get a bit more specific to you then. What tendencies about you would have led you to avoid them? One, getting distracted by things. Not that you're a distractible person, but I think an element of your distraction is that you care. You care a bit too much, and parts if you go off to people and things and places, and everyone's got something going on these days, and part of you goes there because when you see hurt, you hurt, right? So parts of you go off there, and so you've moved on in life and not properly attended to certain things, and so here they are. Secondly, the pain that it causes you. Okay, not that you're a person of pain, but we've all got some. You've got some, and I'm just seeing it here. What's a gift in this to you is to lean on, as I kind of just said to Anne Jeanette, the invisible support that's around us. I'm not gonna call it God. I'm not going to call it angels. I'm not going to call it spirit. And say invisible support. It's there. Why we tend to eventually look to that is we see that what we're trying to do isn't working so well, and we get to a point we have to surrender it and acknowledge that we're being supported, and there's love all around us. Okay, gets bandied around too much, love all around us, and that's what makes us realize it. And this is all for you to be becoming someone that the person you can be, that you are, that can be generous without losing their energy, and happily creative with what you have in your immediate means. That is the person you're becoming. That's the person you want to be. That's the person you can be. And that's kind of what wraps it all up for you. Okay. Randy. All right, later from the I'm so sorry, Randy. I'm very sorry to hear that. Um, let me please assure you, or please hear me, Randy, when I say if a door has shut, if a door is shut, another is absolutely opening. That's not to diminish. That's not to diminish the frustration or whatever. I'm not going to put words to it. I'm not going to put words to that. What you're feeling. I'm not going to do that. But we've all been in that position before. It doesn't feel good. So I'm not trying to diminish that. Just to add to it that it's moving you to where you. It's moving you to not where, but what you need to be doing. And you know as well as I do, sometimes we need a bit of a push. Maybe we wouldn't have moved quite so quickly. But I do not see money being a problem for you. Think in terms of incremental moves. Think in terms of incremental activities instead of doing the big thing. The smaller things will add up. They'll be easier to keep track of. Yeah. This is getting you to a much more empowered place, and I don't know who you've been dealing with that's maybe brought you down, but your career going forwards has you a lot more I'm going to say in control in a good way. Being in control versus being controlling, that's a lower end. Being in control, we have to be in control, right? But I see you much more balanced, in command. There's the word, in command of what you're doing. It's Randy. There's good ahead of you. Let's just say that much. There's good ahead of you. I'm happy for you. Diana, would you throw in a specific question? I'm after the point where I'm doing a general guidance. Okay, happy to answer your question, but let's have a specific question, please. Amy, will you be able to maintain your current finances if you get out of your relationship? Yes. I absolutely do. I want to say two things to you about this, Amy. Number one, I see that right now you don't think that you can. I see that you don't think you will. That's not true. It's not true in with a capital T. I do see that's how you're thinking, though. I do see that's how you're feeling. I feel the bit feeling confined. That is going to pass. I just want to call it out, rather because I don't like gaslighting these things. It's like, yes, I see that you're feeling like that, and in this moment, that is a reality. It is not the reality, but it's a reality until it's not. And I do see you grabbing control of that. There's that word again. I don't have a problem with that word for one's own greater interests, right? So what's going to make you do that? What's going to make you do that is it becoming important enough to you, right? Your freedom and your path and your purpose and all these things, that's going to become important enough to you. And you're still on the precipice of that, hence this conversation. But I do, and I see. I'm not saying immediately, but I do see you well be. What's your words? Comfortably maintaining in the fullness of time. I don't know that. Not saying just going to happen and money going to rain from heaven, but I do see you stepping up and making, as you said, making that transition, maintain your finances yourself, by yourself. Yeah, I do. Karen. Next 4 weeks to help you avoid conflict. Feel this conflict energy around you, looking for ways to remove it. Right. How can I put this into words? Karen, you've maybe heard that expression, I think, from Marianne Williamson. I'm going to just butcher this, so forgive me. And she said something like, if we knew who walked beside us or behind us, we would not worry or want for anything ever. And so what's the even subconscious choice we have in every single moment? It's like, are we gonna go with little us, or are we gonna go with big us? And if we're feeling challenged, and I have been this week, honestly, feeling challenged, it's because we're going with following the small us. So what this looks like for you, because I'm not trying to be rude or condescending here. The conflict is because you're leading yourself with fear. Okay, and of course you are, because that's where the question's coming from. I understand that. What you can do, and it just everything just coheses to this. What you can do is let something bigger just move through you. What's the bigger? The bigger is you. The bigger is you, the higher self, the greater self. What Yoda says, there is no try, there is only do. Try is to allow only a small part of ourselves through, is to push, is to force. And so I'd like you just to take a big breath right now, just a really deep breath. Now you feel how the exhalation just goes through. It just goes through, right? Because of course it does, and you don't think about that. But through the same pathways comes everything we need. And there's only conflict if you show up for it. Conflict is only perpetuated if you feed it. And so if you're not leading with the part of you that's looking for it, expecting it, perpetuating it, needing drama, it's not going to be there. Now, it's the small part of us that shows up for drama, that shows up for conflict, because it gives us significance. If you can show up with the greater part of you and let that do the heavy lifting, and I'm going to just say that again, let that part of you do the heavy lifting. Sometimes there's some places I'm called to go, some things I'm called to go that are so far beyond my capacity. And I'll go in with that mindset. I have no idea what to do here. You've seen me channel. Don't know what to do. And so I just even mentally open up to something vastly beyond me to let that do the work. Okay. It's not that I vanish. It's not that I have nothing to do with it, but a part of me can step aside. And that's what everything I'm seeing here is leading you towards. You're trying to do too much with a small part of you. Let a bigger part of you do the work. Okay. Okay. Natasha. have to make it through the next 4 months. Okay. You know, a theme that I'm looking at, seeing here, Natasha, and you know, if I see you in a couple of days, I can maybe go into this in a bit more detail. But a theme is about partnership, and I'm not necessarily saying a romantic partner. I'm talking about partnership in any and every area of your life. One, to help you see clarity where you don't see it. Okay. I don't know I don't remember. I was just reading. I think Amy just now, and talking about when we're confined by our own perception of ourselves, and that's reality until it's not. Partnering with the unknown, partnering with the invisible, like I was just saying to Karen just now. There are certain projects we do in life and times, and we have they call it an accountability partner. You know, we're looking to just keep ourselves accountable and in motion and so on. There's that. I do see you're going to get through this period fine. It's funny. I was thinking about a 4-month period myself, about the same kind of time. I do see money being okay. I'll say this though, you know, like with animal medicine, we can bring in the qualities of the bear or the hawk, or in terms of our vision and accountants. But for you, actually, I'd say the energy of mouse, which looks down at their feet and looks at each step, and each step is a small step, but each step happens. And with that, I do see things as we're always putting out energy, as we're always setting out intentions, we're always manifesting that way. As you do that, it will return to you, because you haven't, I feel like you haven't put it into tangible, tactile words yet, but there are things you want to happen. And so as you do take these smaller steps and you keep things in balance with each step, I know you're thinking in terms of month, but don't think in terms of 2 days. The intentions you're putting out, the requests you're putting out, they are answered and they return to you. Okay. Gloria, I'm not doing general messages anymore this evening. So if you have a specific question, please put it in. Angie. I'm not sure about this, Angie. Okay. I'm not saying not to, Angie, but I'm just feeling not yet. And I don't know what's going on, and I don't know about timings and all of that, but not just yet. Not right now. Not right now. Yeah. That's what I've got, Angie. Tracy. Yes. Woo, thank God. Worried about what I was going to have to tell you. Yes. No, I do see this going smoothly. I feel like you've just had taken a breath of relief. A few more of those, please. A few more of those. It's not just about me saying things. It's not just about things happening. It's about you letting it happen as well. So a few more breaths of relief. Okay. Remembering that we manifest things through us. We manifest things through us. We manifest things through us. I'm not going to pretend I've been breathing all easy today. I'm just thinking about this right now. I wish I had been breathing a bit more today. So don't be like me. Don't be like me. And breath is grace. Grace is breath. Let it come through you. Yeah. Teresa, your overall health improving. Okay. So, do I see your overall health improving? I do. And I see the waves of exhaustion, coming back periodically. I'm going to say something to you I feel like has been said to you many times, which is to look at how much you're taking on from other people. Now, with the sort of circles you and I travel in, the minds go to, an empath. I take on energy. Take on energy from people. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. But you also do things for people too. Now, that is a way of taking on energy. Of course it is. But we say we commit ourselves to someone or something, long or short, big or small. That is then a confine of our time and resources and vitality. So you may not value that, but it is having a cost. It has a cost. So it's not just about health improving magically all by itself, although I do see some improvement. You need to take an active role. Suggesting you take an active role in how much you're extending yourself for other people. It has more of a cost than you think, or affects the rate of improvement of your overall health more than I think you think it does. But yes, do I see your overall health, as you say, improving? I do, and it's because you want it to. I'm offering to you to want it a bit more than even that. Patty, with the right people, professional, Right. My answer to you is, Patty, is yes. This isn't a simple. Yeah, it's going to happen. Woo. Okay. There's you look at your question. Look at your question. Your question is very externalized there, and while I do see that happening, I see it happening in let's just say this much time, and so I hope I hope the question is forming in your mind right now. Well, okay, how do we make it happen in this much time? And the short answer, because I can't go on for long time here, is you stop waiting. You stop making it about other people, and you start remembering, because you do know, you start remembering how these things happen in the first place, and they happen in the first place by we cultivating ourselves for that to happen. And so what would that look like for you? It would look like, you do the research that's fun, you find out about home condo, and you find out the pitfalls, you find out the problems, you find out the costs, the hidden costs, and the blah blah blah. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is not a home condo owner. I'm going to say that again. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is not a home or a condo owner. You there is a repetitive judgment of yourself you have. When things are repetitive, they've had a time to build up. They've had a time to build up momentum. So I'm not suggesting it's going to suddenly vanish, just because I'm calling it out here. But I'd like you to be aware of that too. Let's put it like this: the more that you step into your own power, and we can do that in the smallest ways or the biggest of ways. But it's not a singular thing; it's a continual thing. The more you step into your own power, the more you become that person, the more you attract the people who help it. I do see people coming. Actually, two men, for what it's worth. But never mind that. Never mind them, because it's about you and it's about you. And that's what makes people come. That's what makes support come. All right. Janet. Oops. There we go. There. As Ruth Rogers passed on to the other side. I'm getting that she either just has or is just about to. I think just has. It feels recent. It feels just the kind of that side of the cusp. My father is in he's a long-term dementia patient, and I think he's actually improved a little bit. But for a while he was leaving, body and still breathing and all that, but just leaving and then returning, of course. But I think she has. I'm getting that she has, and recently. Okay. Diana, there you are. Are you on the right path of your life? If so, what's coming up for you then? Okay. Right, Diana. There are times, frequently, where we're actually on the right path, but it doesn't feel like it. And I think so many of us are in that place right now. I get why you're asking the question, because I'm seeing certain the foundation, the spread I've just done. There's a lot of miscommunication, mishearing, frustration, and knocking heads together. I'm being a little bit excessive here. Zooming out, what's the point of that? Why have a life where that happens? It's to make us step back. I've said this in like two or three times already today in other ways. But it's not about singular message. It's about how it can be heard. Repeated irritation, repeated frustration is what makes us step back and and open up to another way, another way. And this is leading up to a big completion of a cycle for you. Really, really big. I think there's only like two other cards in the. I'm looking at two of them. There's only two others in the deck that are this indicative of transformation. So I'll say this. What's, as you say, what's coming up for you then? I'm going to put it in one sentence. That life happens. Life doesn't happen to you. Life happens for you. That's the big change you're making in the next, I'm going to say 3 months, but into next year. I wish it would wrap up this month. Oh God, what a long month this is. But that's it. You get resigned to things, and then your energy drops, and that's, I think, a habitual pattern for you. And that's going to change, and it's going to change, Diana, through repeated kind of oh, and you look at, oh, that went better than I thought. That's better than I thought. And these are the incremental things that build up to make us feel a bit more confident in how we approach life and engage with ourself, as it were. Okay. There you go. Your efforts to heal your ear be successful over the next year. Yes. Sorry that took so long, whoever you are. Facebook user. Yes, I really do think so. It's about let's remember something. One of the things that goes on in the ear that we don't think about is balance, isn't it? The inner ear, it's not about hearing at all. It's about balance, and the cochlea, the basilar membrane, and so on. It's about equilibrium. And you know, just to throw it in there, in with your efforts, with your external efforts, to have the internal effort of bringing of look at where you can bring equilibrium, look at where you can bring balance. That's something again. But to answer your question, yes. Ginger. Oops, no. There we go. No. Oh, technology. I'll keep this new job with Dish Network or find something else. I'm seeing you keeping the job, Ginger. Yeah. Okay, Robin. Should you sell your home right now or wait for a year or two? Wait a year or two, Robin. Feel like you'd be all right in a year, or in about a year. I'd recommend longer. I'd actually recommend longer than that, to be honest with you. But I don't suggest you sell your home now. Not at all. Not at all. A second, maybe we can do one more. To one more person. Tracy. Let's go. Tracy. I do see you staying at this new job. Yeah, I see why you're questioning it. But and seeing you just finding yourself a lot happier and a lot more engaged in it too. When we can really find ourselves in a job, that's a wonderful place to be. So yeah. Oops, did I lose someone? Marilyn. All right. I think I have to make this the last one. Nice to see you, Marilyn. I miss you. Should you move to St. Louis, stay in Cleveland, or move somewhere else? It's really quite clear to move to St. Louis. Yeah, I don't recommend you staying in Cleveland, and I don't think there's somewhere else for you either. I know a wonderful real estate agent in St. Louis as well. I like know one person in St. Louis. All right. I'm going to call it there, everyone. Thank you for staying with me. If I didn't get to your question, I apologize. I do my best. Let's take a breath, please. Let's take a breath, and we're just going to collectively open up and move some energy for each of you. And for the people we're connected to, whether they know it or not. We'll take a breath in goodwill. Letting love flow through us right now to where and who needs it. Calling forth grace for each of you, for what matters to you, for the people you care about, for the things you care about. Okay. Well, I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving in advance. I am going to be in Oklahoma this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Broken Arrow and then into Oklahoma City and around there. I'm going to Florida second week of December, and then Virginia Virginia, taking my kids, but I'm doing a couple of things there, work things there while I'm there. That's going to be the third week of December. So if if you're in any of those areas, reach out to me. I just haven't felt like doing lots of promotion and all that stuff. I just haven't wanted to. But if you're in any of those areas, you want to know where I am, what I'm doing, just reach out to me. Otherwise, I'm going to say good night. I have 3 human beings upstairs needing some attention. God bless you all. Thank you. God bless. And I will see you again soon.